We have a lot of NHL waiver wire activity to discuss today. We have more breaking news with another significant name available on waivers. Yesterday we had Brandon Saad and Sod and Reinhardt. Today, Philip Grubauer. We'll discuss all the waiver news coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have some more pretty significant news from the NHL today regarding waiver wire activity. Yesterday, we had St. Louis Blues veteran forward Brandon Saad on waivers, as well as 24-year-old Senators forward Sod and Reinhardt. Both players have in fact cleared. I know a lot of people thought Brandon Saad might have a shot at getting picked up. A veteran guy, been around the league, over a decade. He's got lots of goals under his resume, lots of success in the past, even though he's having a down season. We know the Blues have tried trading him without any avail so far. And while, there are teams out there looking that could have grabbed him for free, I think the big deterrent is that Saad not only is signed for this year, but has another year on his contract as well. So making $4.5 million for a cap hit really isn't all that bad. Next year's cash amount for Saad as well is down to, I think it's 3.9. I think it is. It's under $4 million. So it's a bit of a savings that way when it comes to cash versus cap hit. But to no avail. Now, it doesn't mean that Saad clearing waivers will not lead to a trade. Like as I mentioned yesterday, sometimes when a player has cleared, it might pick up trade talks because teams will have they don't have to go through the waiver process. So they know if they trade for him, he could be in their minor league system and be an option for call-up. It's hard to say, though. Like I said, I think the extra year in the contract is a big deterrent. So we'll wait and see what happens, but he was expected to report to Springfield. If that happened, of course, like I said, Sod and Reinhardt of the Senators, less of a surprise that he cleared, given his less established NHL career of only 12 games this year, 13 games overall. He'll report to Belleville of the AHL for the Senators, where he'll be in action this evening. I know today's big surprise is Seattle Kraken goaltender Philip Grubauer. Now, if you look at Grubauer, this shouldn't be a shocker either. He still has a couple more years on his contract too, which is likely going to lead to him probably clearing. But if you look at his record in Seattle this year, he's got a record of 5-15-1, an .866 save percentage, and a 3.83 goals against. That is nowhere near NHL level to have any success. The Kraken, of course, we know are kind of going on their fourth season now. We had the first season was a little rough. The second season they exploded. They had everybody hitting career highs. It was phenomenal. They had a 100-point season, got into the playoffs, won a round, went to round 2, almost won that. They're kind of one of the biggest surprises of the season. And then, like I said, in my opinion, last year they were one of the biggest prime candidates for regression. After having all those players hit career highs and shooting percentages and all those things, you knew it was likely that they'd take a bit of a step back. We didn't think the step back would be quite so steep, though. And then this year they haven't really gained traction. They have a new coaching staff, a few changes to the roster, but overall nothing too crazy there. Added Brandon Montour, though, which was a nice pickup from the Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. But Grubauer continues to struggle. Joey Daccord has definitely been the better goaltender in the organization. And in my opinion, when they signed Daccord earlier this year to a big extension, that to me signaled the time was coming to an end for Grubauer. So like I said, his .866 save percentage is horrible. The best he's done during his seasons in the Kraken uniform is an .899. That's his highest. So he doesn't even have a full season with a plus 900 save percentage during the time with the Kraken. To me, this was a major fumble in the expansion process, but at the same time, if you look back at what he did with the Avalanche that last year leading into the expansion draft, he was also going to be needing a new contract, needing to be a UFA. He put up a 1.95 and a 922 with an Avalanche team that was, contending for a Stanley Cup. So he was phenomenal that year, and things have just really fallen off a cliff since then. You could argue that Seattle may not be good as good defensively, and that's probably part of it. But I know even head coach Dan Bilesma was asked, because he said in their last game that the Grubauer was hung out to dry, and that's probably not really wrong or a bad assessment. But he was also asked, do you think this seems to happen disproportionately to the times that Daccord is in the net? And he said no. It just seems to be, the team in front of him might not be doing him any favors, but he's not doing himself any favors either. And something has to give with the amount of money they have tied up In goaltending, I suspect Grubauer, like I said, because he's got multiple years on his contract, well over $5 million, he's probably going to clear. If Brandon Saad didn't get picked up, I'd be shocked if Grubauer did. He'll get reassigned. They'll get some cap relief short term. And then I would think a buyout in the offseason is pretty likely. Like I said, they gave Dufour a very similar contract to Grubauer, but he's certainly performed at a higher level to justify keeping him around. So Grubauer on waivers is the big news today. Saad Reinhart from yesterday clear. It's been a busy couple of days of waiver wire activity. We'll see here in the coming days if we get any more. And of course, we'll be interested to see tomorrow afternoon if we find out if Philip Grubauer has cleared or he's been picked up. My money is that he clears, but let me know what you think down below. Would a fresh start with a new organization be what Grubauer needs? Or is he just, regress enough that maybe he's going to have a hard time finding work if he leaves the Kraken organization? Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll discuss further. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and stick around. I'll be back a little bit later with another video recapping all of the rest of today's news and rumors from around the entire NHL. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.